the centrality of Southern Africa for the far right and for neoliberals is quite extraordinary. Rhodesia, of course, has been seen as a kind of a lost cause for the hard right. It was cast by the far right and by sort of libertarians and neoliberals as a kind of a prosperous site of gold production and manufacturing that was now under assault by a socialist black majority government, the ANC. And for Musk himself, the experience of growing up there with a very authoritarian dictatorial father was a very dystopian one from the way that his biographer recounts it. There's memories that he recounts perhaps a little bit gleefully and perhaps through fabrication of sort of walking through puddles of blood on the way to rock concerts. He saw it as a kind of a social Darwinist, sort of all against all type environment. That extrapolation, which is in part based on the reality of very intense intercommunal conflict, but also becomes something that he can kind of embrace to kind of give, to permit his own sort of vision of nihilism, really, and this belief that all alliances are kind of provisional, you need to defend your own. As we know, he's sort of being clear about sort of building compounds to which he can retreat, expanding his own genetic pool through, a very large family, using the federal government when it's useful, tapping into federal budgets, becoming effectively a techno contractor for NASA through SpaceX, selling his services as Starlink, but always, I think, very much with this exit endgame in mind, the same way that many people in South Africa have their own kind of gated communities into which they can withdraw if they can afford it with their own water systems and their own sort of power supplies. This kind of Octavia Butler parable of the sower type reality is one that someone like Musk has sort of sadistically embraced in a way.